And hello to all my Gemini friends. I'd like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for April 2023. Now today they have dialed up for my great Geminis, a storyline spread. It's a great spread for these general readings. It allows me to be very accurate because we're going to be telling a bunch of different stories for different Geminis. It is like a big, huge scattershot across the sign, casts a very wide net across all the different Geminis, telling different stories about what you got going on this month, giving you some advice and bring your awareness to certain things too. Storylines, Spirit can talk about anything they want in here. It can be about love, it can be about health, stories can bounce around, be about work, all kinds of different things, guys. So very interesting things lie ahead, and we're going to find the story in here that is right for you. Sometimes people say, you know what, I've had different parts of different stories that all make sense to me, and that's great, but at the end of the day, we're looking for that one for you, Gemini, that is a home run, and we're going to find that today. They've asked that I conclude your reading with something very interesting as well, and that is a telling time spread. I don't do those very often, but it's come up a lot this month, and you guys are part of that. So telling time focuses and showcases a window of opportunity. Usually it's in the future for later this year, something they do not want you to miss. They want your eyes set on it, lock on, and target. So we're going to get into that and finish your reading with the runestone. So fun things lie ahead, Gemini. It's going to be interesting to see all of this come together. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get started, shall we? The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us all a bunch of time. And now I'm going to bring you in so you can watch with the overhead view. Hit record. Are we recording? I can't see. Now we are. All right, so here we go. These are my ritual cuts, basically cutting each deck into thirds, putting them back together in a separate order. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. It is the same procedure for personal private readings, so it's just like you're here with me now. I am working with a new phone this month, a temporary phone, if you will. My old one kind of crapped out on me, so hopefully this gets the job done. That's why I was kind of weird about the recording there. So here we go. This is your storyline spread. They start out with 5 cards. I expand out from there where I need to go, but these are your core main group of 5. The most important, if you're only going to look at this and nothing else, are these. And we're not done yet. We actually have to expand that out bigger, so I'm going to try to make room for myself. Sometimes storyline spreads do get a little big, and that's actually our end right there. So as soon as I said that, Spirit says, hey, yeah, so you think. So I know this is my end because the main character in this card here is looking this way. That brackets me off like this, basically stop order from Spirit. So that is our group. We do have one card blocked. That's definitely not enough to matter, so that facings are good right now. Now I got to get pairings together. Getting pairings together, that's going to be a standalone. So when we come this way, we're looking at 3 stories, guys. It's going to look just like this. I kind of shuffled it around in my mind a little bit just to make sure that I had it right. But this is it. We're looking at 1, 2, and 3 stories. Now I do need more cards, so this is where the table does get full. So I'm going to, now I got everybody kind of married up together. We're going to move them around, make some room. That lets me know here that that is not the queen. We're using the energetic definition of that card. That story is now done. Get that out of the way. I'm going to move the camera around and show you guys everything close up too, so don't worry. Now this is a High Priestess. It's a Major Arcana card. I need 2 cards to describe it. Major theme there. And down here we got all pips, all minor energy cards. So I'm just going to get 1 card here to just give us a little extra information about what is going on there. So everything is done as far as the card work is concerned except for Angel Oracle cards. In a storyline spread, I like to give every single story an Angel card. So that's what we do here, what we do there. I actually flipped those all. So this should be inverted, so should this, and then this one should be upright. That only matters if I have enough to do a discard. I'm going to have one here, and that's it. So this goes back upright anyway, regardless of what Spirit says, because I don't read the Oracle Angel cards upside down. I just read the other ones upside down. That allows me to be very accurate, turning the 78 tarot card definitions into 156, giving Spirit more vocab to work with, and of course that improves accuracy. Got to do a discard here and we're ready to go, guys. They do say they want the whole thing upright. When that happens, we got to keep the order the same. That is extremely important to do in tarot. And looking, we are ready, guys. Let me just make sure you can see. All right, Gemmies. Story 1. Story 2. And story 3. Whoa, we got some good stuff going on story 3. Hope you guys stick with that. Let's get to work. Hope you stick with the reading and make it to story 3 because it is going to be worth it. That's some good stuff there. All right, so here we go. Let's start at the beginning, though, shall we? All right, Gemini, story one. Story one, the connection card. How do I know if the story is about me or not? Well, the first thing they bring in is my high priestess. So if you're in college, for example, this could very well be your story. You're learning something new, like a certification for work. It doesn't have to be college. It can be learning something new on like a large scale. Or this can also be information being presented to you. Now, you wouldn't necessarily, that would be a harder one to pinpoint, unless you are just very aware of you're finding all out about somebody's lies or something like that, where the whole thing is coming clean. You're finding out all the truth about stuff. If that's the case, you could very well be in story one too. But for most people, this is about learning new things. The window of information is being presented to you, and it's just like information is flowing. So if that sounds like you could very well be with me in story one. They do show that there is a little bit of a kink here, a little bit of a bind to something. So something's got you a little bit, I don't want to use the word a prisoner, but it's definitely taking your energy, your time, your resources. Maybe it's work. They didn't come out and say that, so I'm saying that just to give you an area to attach this to, because it might not be work. Maybe you're tied down a little bit in the love corner, busy with the family. Another way of saying tarot, or the spirit language saying tied down, could be busy. It doesn't have to be like tied down like it's a bad thing, like, oh man, I'm stuck with this job, but it could be that too. Okay, so you're really tied down with something here in story number one in the month of April, but Spirit is reminding you here that this is not fully tied down. You have momentum to move around. Momentum is not the right word. Freedom. You have enough freedom here to move around your life. You're not completely stuck. Like if you're the mom who's a stay-at-home mom and taking care of 5 kids at the same time, for example, okay, you're not a prisoner in your life. You can still find time and ways to do other things. Of course, it might be different than the rest of the people. You might not be doing it the same hours and etc., but the freedom is still there. Okay, so Spirit's saying you're not as stuck as you feel like you are, and hopefully you know what I mean by that. The next thing they show here is the Hierophant card. So you're doing really good about taking care of your people. The people that depend on you, it's huge. It's coming up here in story one, and you're doing a great job. And also doing things the right way. If you're with me here in story one, you cannot be cutting corners. Not in April. You got to do things by the book, correctly. No cheating, nothing. Okay, so everything on the up and up there. Makes me feel like taxes, but it could be about just about anything. They also bring in clairaudience. So they're saying in the card directly, notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So it's basically listen to the things that people are telling you. If that's the case where you're finding out about the truth about something or about somebody, something like that, listen here, listen. And you can also be being guided in the same way, because that's what clairaudience is. It's like hearing things without physically hearing things in your mind, right? So there we go. Story 2. Let's get into some story 2. Gemmies. The attachment card is really the card about, if you're just kind of a little bit in victim mode here, you feel like, you're just in a rut, you're in a down spiral here, things have not been going your way, you could very well be with me here in story 2, Gemini. The good news is that this is not going to last for very much longer. We are coming out of that very quickly here, so Spirit is telling you what you need to do is a little switcheroo. You need to stop looking at the stuff that's gone wrong, the things that you've lost, or the things that you don't have, or the things that are wrong with your life, and all you got to do is turn around and look behind you at all the rewards you do have, all the people that love you, all the good things that you still have around and working for you. And don't tell me you don't have none of that. Of course you do, because they say next, small victory. You're moving forward. Actually, every facing in this card, if you were to go back to when I showed you the picture, this story, everybody is facing to the right, which is the future. So we're looking ahead to the future, guys, looking very good, looking very bright. You just, you're at the end of this little storm, I guess, looking out at the rainbow. And if you look back at the profile of the cards in story 2, you'll see exactly what I mean, looking at the rainbow. So everybody's moving toward that path. Okay, so small victory, it doesn't mean that this is a huge win for you, but it doesn't have to be, because the small win might be all it takes to get you out of this hole that you dug for yourself, whatever that may mean for you. Small victories, they add up to big victories. You just gotta compound them, compile them up, and before you know it, you're at the top. Okay, they do bring up the 3 of Wands next, so this can be a card about long distance travel. Some of you may be doing that in April, but for the rest of my audience, this usually indicates that you are at the end of your ground here. You're looking out into the future, and here is all this potential. You're waiting for this boat to come in. You're waiting for, something to arrive, but it's not quite here yet. Actually, Spirit is saying some of you are there. You just don't realize it necessarily that you are there. So this is a new chapter. This is a new chapter for a lot of my Geminis, and it feels like a very welcome chapter from what you've been coming out of, okay? So this is like, if you look at your life like a book, this is a chapter in your book that is brand new and beginning for a lot of you Geminis, or you're very close to this new chapter. So what is this new chapter going to be about? Well, you get to dictate that. You get to write it. And for a lot of you, this is going to be about love or a relationship or the family. That's what this new chapter that you guys are moving towards is all about. I know that because they gave me relationship harmony in my angel card. Can't be much more direct than that. It says, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are now being resolved. Okay, so things are getting worked out. Things are coming together, settling down a little bit. We have less drama, less stress, less conflict going on in April, or very, very soon, if not in April. We're not reading for May. I only have April in front of me, but it looks very good for April, the way we're transitioning. And we end with the Ten of Cups, which is the second greatest card in the entire deck, guys. You nailed it. So this is wonderful family joy, happiness. It's my Disneyland energy, so imagine like how much fun that is, right? So it's a great omen for your love corner. And with relationship harmony attached to it, we have kind of double good right there, coming off that small victory. So like I said, small victories, they add up, Gemini. And you guys are starting this new chapter. Hopefully we start it in strength and in courage, and you can really hit the ground running here. Now, before I get into story 3, which is another fantastic energy story, I want to tell you about the moon cycles. It's very relevant for, let me see which part is the biggest one for you guys. Well, new chapter, it has to be the new moon. So pay the most attention to the new moon when I go through these moon cycles for you. And of course, if you do got to get something out of your life, the full moon's good for that too. But I need to also tell you about the gemstone in the store. Lots of good stuff there. We're going to cut away to do that. Come back for story 3. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, it is moon cycle forecast time. Very simple set of moon cycles this month. Going to be a very quick pull. Also going to tell you about a brand new gemstone in the shop. But first, those moon cycles. The moon cycles are starting to move through earlier in the months. So now we have the full moon that hits first in April. That comes through April 6th. That is the peak, which basically means from April 1 through about the 10th, it's going to be very strong energy for getting things out of your life. That is what the full moon does. I call it the garbage truck of the universe. Get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Use that energy to your benefit. It's already out there. The energy's already there with the moon. Might as well use it to your benefit. Much easier to walk downstairs than walk upstairs, swim downstream than swim against the current. That's what the moon cycles do for you. So it doesn't matter what you're trying to get out of your life either. The universe does not care whether this is breaking habits, whether this is getting rid of people. Some of you actually have to get rid of people and some cordage in your life, and all that stuff doesn't matter what it is. Much better placed early in April. Even if it's cleaning out a closet, a garage, getting rid of old things, maybe you got to sell something. That is all full moon energy, much better placed early in April. Adversely, we have the new moon, which comes through April 20th. April 20th is the key there. I can't say to focus on bringing new stuff in the end of the month anymore, because the 20th is moved up far enough here where, the end of the month is getting more back into some full moon energy. So the focus for bringing new things into your life, manifesting in things that weren't there before, is the 3rd week of April. April 20th is the apex. It doesn't have to be on the 20th though. Any kind of time around there. Let's call it the 15th through the 25th. Pretty strong vibration there for bringing new things in, whether you're trying to attract brand new love, whether you're trying to do something new with work, get a new job, do something new in the health corner, or do something new with your money. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's brand new, it's much better placed under the new moon, peaking on April 20th, but anytime right around there is key. And like I said, don't wait too long into the month to get something new going, because if you do, you're going to bump into that full moon energy eking its way through from May, and we don't want to do that. So that is your moon cycles, guys. Like I said, short and sweet there, but let's talk about the gemstone. I'm really proud to bring this one to you here. This is the first gemstone that is in the shop that is actually a permanent part of the Scott Sagent table, and it's right here. It's a little piece of sodalite. Sodalite is the gemstone for this month of April that we are releasing and debuting for the month. And sodalite is, I call it my wisdom stone. It is good for many different things. I'm going to be posting that on the shop page of my little research bracket there, my little graphic with all the great things sodalite does for health, for metaphysics, and for the whole bit. I call it my wisdom stone. It's sitting right underneath my ruby record keeper. So we have wisdom on top of wisdom there. And this is a wonderful stone that you guys will enjoy. And the full write-up is available on scottsagent.com. Check that out. You guys will love it. Let's get back to your reading. Okay, Gemini, story number 3. Coming in hot with the attachment card of the Queen of Swords. This is the nurturer of your mental mindset, cerebral activity. Okay, so really getting your mind right. If you feel like you've been working on that, that has been your motivation, that has been your push for the last month or more. You've really been working on getting your head straight, figuring some stuff out up here. What you're going to do, not necessarily actually doing it. That would be physical world, like to the touch. This is more up here. Okay, so if you've been doing that, this could very well be you here in story 3, and what they show next is the best card in the deck. Story 2, we had the second best card. Now, Gemini, we have the number 1 card in the deck, the Sun. So this is golden energy radiating everywhere. In fact, I'm going to give you the Gemini golds everywhere, just sprinkling everywhere down on story 3. I know that makes everybody feel like they want to be in story 3, but that's not the case. But it doesn't matter because we have good stuff kind of everywhere, guys. Truthfully, Gemini, what a wonderful month for April for my Geminis. So we have the Sun golden energy there. That is also the pure nostalgic energy of a child, the pure energy of a child. And they bring in you are safe. So it's letting me know that a lot of people felt vulnerable before. A lot of my Geminis here in story 3 felt very vulnerable, maybe just mentally. Like, you could just, you're at your peak. You're at your rock bottom. You could break at any point. Like, what do I got to do? Like, what do I got to do to get over this hump, or whatever they're talking about? So they say you're safe. They're saying, and this is Archangel Michael, by the way, the big angel. He's basically saying, I am protecting you against the lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. It's basically saying, you know what? I got it. I got you, Gemini, and you know what? Everything's covered too. Not just you, but everybody else around you. We got it all. We got it covered for you. You guys are good to move forward here with what you need to do. Now, they give us one more thing, and this is a wonderful financial omen. This is a good credit indicator. It basically means good credit. It doesn't necessarily mean money, but it could. This could be like money being moved in positive ways, not something that's going to accrue debt, not something that you're going to have to pay back necessarily, unless it's like a 0% thing or something like that, if you're lucky enough to have that. But for everybody else, this is just a really good give and take of finances or energy. So it's also karmic give and take, karmic energy. What you give out, you get back, twice as good, all that kind of stuff. So it's just another good card to really cap off another good story, truthfully, Gemini. And I'm so happy to see it because Geminis have had a rough go of it the last few months here. I noticed stuff like that, and I did pay attention to the fact that Gemini has been roughed up a little bit. Spirit's been really hard on you, and this could be the reason for it. This is the month where you go up. Up and away, Gemini, looking good. Let's grab that rune stone, and then we're going to get into your telling time. They're already shuffled. Give them one last swirl. And we're ready to go. So the rune stone for Gemini for April will be this one right here, and it makes perfect sense to me. This is the rune stone of strength. Strength. Putting the muscle into this, having the strength and the courage to move forward with what you have to do in April. So strength in story 1 could be about learning this new stuff, keeping the toxicity away, just persevering and listening to all the facts come in. Having the strength to find out all the facts too. Some people don't like the truth. Some people don't want to hear it. There's even a song about that I've been hearing on the radio about, I don't want to know. If you've been doing something shady, essentially, like keep it on the low is what they say in the song. So it's like, don't tell me about it. So some people don't like the truth, but you know what? Spirit here is saying strength. You have the strength to it. You have the strength to handle it. Long story short, you can handle the truth. Don't think you can't handle the truth. Another famous line from a movie. That one's from a movie. I guess we're going Hollywood in this reading, Gemini. Strength in story 2. Strength is knowing and realizing that the small victory is the kickoff. Okay, you're almost there. You're almost at this new chapter. You just got to push through the rest of this little way here to hit that finish line. It's like a marathon race. You feel like you want to quit. The last miles probably feels like 10, but you got a little bit more to go. And then you're here at this new chapter. Relationship is getting nice and settled in. We have good love omens all over the place, even for my singles. So strength, guys, you just got to keep going. You got to keep pushing, persevere. And strength in story 3. You are safe. You have everything you need. You have all the tools, all the resources. You're keeping good nurturing of your mental capacity. Spirit is saying what a good job you've done of that, but not just that, but also saying you need to continue to do that. And, you have the strength to continue to do it too. So it's not like they worry about you falling off the rails here and derailing and, getting all messed up. So they're giving you the full applause here, and you've earned it, Gemini. So wonderful, wonderful rune stone to complete your reading with. And of course, the rune stone is part of my mini reading. It is brand new service. the way that they do this for the sign, it's wonderful that they can connect to so many people. But at the end of the day, nothing beats a personal private reading. And a runestone is the brand new one. It's a mini product available with a 1-day turnaround on that. Very quick reading there. And all kinds of other wonderful services on scottsagent.com. Something for everybody there, guys. Full service all the way down to the minis. The runestone's done. Let's get into your telling time. And let me count the cards I used. I only used 10, so actually I used 11, so I do need to cut away to shuffle. 10 is my limit. If I use more than that, I'm true to spirit, and I give them the chance to use some of these cards again if they need to. So we are going to reshuffle and cut away to do that real quick, and I will be right back. Okay, Gemini, I am back, ready for some telling time. The cards have been reshuffled. Got a ritual cut it one final time, because I always do. Into thirds it goes, back together it goes. Telling time here, we're going to go through different rounds. But it might end quickly because it ends as soon as we get our knockout punch here. We're looking for aces. That is our knockout punch in this first round. If we get an ace, this is Spirit's way of saying, you know what? This is a date probably in a week within this year sometime, where you cannot miss it. And it is just so important that we're making it come first round right off the bat. And it looks like we do not have one this round. So what happens is, instead of Spirit saying, hey, pay attention to this week, now they're going to be saying pay attention to this month. Okay? So much wider scope. Basically gives you a little bit of leeway. You don't have to, narrow this down too tight. And if we don't get one this round, we go one more round up. We got our date. Now let me just make sure it's just one date and not multiples. That they only want to get you to pay attention to one here. And it is just one. So let me just tack on some time to it. We add 1, 2, 3. I do one here to say what this is about. And the angel card to describe. So I'm going to calculate that for you real quick. I'm going to cut away so you don't have to watch me do math, and I'll be right back. Okay, Gemini, I am back. I've calculated your date. Got the full scope of what this telling time is about for you. And let's start with what it's about. This is about saving up money for a goal, for a purpose, or this is about when money stuff can really get concluded, when you can finally pay off a bill, when you have a little bit of breathing space here. I know that because they gave me the card for breathe, which is essentially you're breaking patterns. You're getting rid of stress because you can breathe, you can relax, right? But also it's about getting rid of patterns. So they said money. So it's about perhaps getting rid of a debt or being able to save up money for this future date. This can also be about health because it is a pentacle. So for some of you, this could be if you got to get healthy by a certain date, or if you're going to diet for a certain amount of time or something like that. This can also be a window for a deadline. Now, I did tell you a month. They told me late January. So when we're going to bracket a month around that, this is a long time from now, guys. This is, what, 8-9 months from now? So what they're saying here is there's something to be saving money for or working on your health now. They're basically giving you a window. Hey, do this for the better part of a year. See how it goes. See how your results go. So they want you to try to improve either your finances or your health. Whichever you feel, Gemini, you need to work on the most is more than likely the direction here. They're saying you need to mother this. You need to treat it like your kid. So save up your money like it's for your kid, or work on your health like it's for your kid. Okay, so really nurture this. You can't let it go. You can't neglect it. They're giving you this deadline date of late January into February, early February, late January. Somewhere in there is where they want you to kind of plan for here. So what you're doing now is you're basically like either marking that on the calendar so you remember, or mark it in this calendar if you prefer, whatever works for you. And that they're giving you a time of when this hits its head, when the apex is for this change. So you do what you want with it from now until then. And that is what your telling time provides. So that concludes what has been a very, very positive, interesting reading for my Geminis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos, and have a great April. I know you will.